this week's Patreon pick, as requested by Hunter. Thank you for the request on Patreon. And if you also want to get your movie picked, watched, and requested, all that stuff by us, go to guapish.com/Patreon or patreon.com/Guapish. $1 a month, get in the queue, we'll watch it eventually. We've got the 1994 film Blank Check, which I am volunteering Tanner to give the plot summary of.
Dude, Blank Check is the story of a young Preston Waters. He is a little boy in a family they're actually pretty well off, but they're very stingy, and so he's upset about that, I guess. And he happens upon a villain who hits him with his car and gives him a blank check. And luckily for Preston, he just so happens to have a lot of money, and so he fills in that check for $1 million. And then has a really fun time. The end. Fun fact, the amusement park they film at was Six Flags Fiesta, Texas in San Antonio.
Ooh,
wow. Fun fact, this takes place in Texas. The fuck?
Yeah. It was filmed in San Antonio, Austin, and Houston, I believe.
I legitimately, going back to the conversation the audience knows nothing about, I also thought this was in Cali. So very interesting to hear it's in Texas.
I saw the trees he was riding past in his neighborhood, and I was like, okay, that's not California. They don't have trees like that in their neighborhoods.
Valid. Rankings?
I am sitting at a C+ right now.
Okay.
I'm at just a flat C.
I'm also the flat C.
How am I still the highest on this movie? I gave it a B-.
You're not that much higher.
To be honest... Oh, good.
I was just gonna say, I don't have very many overall thoughts on this one. It's a pretty straightforward film. It's a kid's movie. I think it's fun. I like the villain. I think he's sufficiently menacing and whatever, and seeing him get his comeuppance is fun. I like the relationship between the kid and the taxi driver. I think that's funny and whatever. But it's a really straightforward kids movie. It doesn't do a whole lot, and I think the ending isn't great. I think it's a bit rushed, and also there also just isn't really much plot development at all. Like, most of the movie is the montage of him just blowing his money on shit.
Yeah. That's kind of alluding to what one of my main things was going to be. I remember watching it, and I was so confident. Maybe it's just because I have today brain and, inflation. But I was so confident he already spent his $1 million. So when we got to the end of the movie, and the party is what did him in, I was shocked. And maybe it's on me for assuming that $1 million, even in the 90s, doesn't get you far. But clearly, it apparently affords you a mansion, a security system, a fucking amusement park basically in your own home, all of the virtual reality gaming systems, all that shit. Also, another funny thought that occurred to me, when he got that first blank check from his grandma, I thought the movie was gonna be about him depleting his grandma's life savings so she's secretly a millionaire and throws his family into a major crisis. So I thought it was very funny when that was not the case, and then instead we're introduced to a villain who's chasing him down because he negligently gave a kid a check and didn't expect the kid to write it for the biggest number he could possibly think. So, the egg is really on the villain's face in this case, but, I like the message of the movie being, you can have all the money in the world, but, at the end of the day, what matters is who you have and who you can spend it with, and if the only people in your life are there because you have money or because you've spent money and so it puts you at a status, that doesn't get you true happiness like the family you had the whole time.
What a terrible message, though, by the way. Imagine if he did have a good family life and some solid friends, but he also had $1 million. He'd be so happy then.
Imagine if the plot of the movie wasn't this and was actually this, then it'd be a better movie.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta say, the fucking romance subplot in this film was rather strange.
It was a bit much.
Listen, I get it's a meme to make fun of that with this movie, but she's an undercover agent. She's faking it. So, like, I think it's whatever.
She's so hot, though, is the big thing, though. It really took me back to when I was a wee child, and I was like, damn, this woman's so fucking hot.
Huh.
And, I wish I had $1 million I could have blown on her so that in 6 years she'd date me, even though I'm 11 years old, so I'd still be underage. Why is that what they settled on, huh, movie? Huh? What are you trying to say here? Is she actually a pedophile?
I could not get over that fact for the entire movie. That was such a distracting, funny thought the entire time. I couldn't take
I don't have
seriously.
Crazy amount to say about this movie either. I do think the romance subplot is so fucking goofy, especially that he literally gets a kiss at the end. That shit's crazy. I think the ending of the movie does feel very rushed. Like, they try to set up that the main bad guy is going to take over the persona of Macintosh, but, like, is he stupid? Why does he at that very moment? Is he dumb? Is he stupid?
Yes.
It seems kind of dumb. I mean, it's a bunch of, like, stupid kids movie hijinks of the kid getting away type thing. It's just, it's just some turn your brain off. This is some kid doing something like, and I agree. I don't particularly enjoy the messaging of this movie either. Like, the parents just weren't great to him initially. Like, they were throwing him no bones, and then they tried to redeem them at the very end by having that speech where the dad talks to Macintosh, and I don't know. I don't think any of that particularly worked on me, but generally speaking, I think it's a fine movie. It's got some fun scenes. It's got an interesting concept. I don't think the kid actor was that bad either. I think he was fine.
Yeah, he did fine.
Yeah. Nothing crazy, I think for a kid, maybe you would take the messaging a bit better, but as an adult that likes money, I don't agree, personally.
Particularly, the messaging really just falls flat at the end, because it's like, he blew all his money, and I was like, man, those personal relationships, those are what really count in life. But, his brothers are still fucking assholes to him. None of that changed. If anything,
literally nothing about his social standing changed at all.
Nothing has changed whatsoever in his life. If they gave him his own room at the end, that would be something at the very least. But no, he gets nothing about his life is different from where it begins and ends.
What's dumb too is that the whole timeline of this movie kind of fucks it up as well, because it takes place within a week, or 6 days or something. So even if there was some amount of development that could happen, that's such a short time to come to the conclusion of, life is not good even though I have $1 million and I live in a mansion and all these fucking things. Shut the fuck up, come on.
It's the only thing he really has is the promise that when he becomes 17 he'll get to fuck a hot MILF. Mm-hmm. Which, to be honest, sometimes that's all you really need in life to keep going.
I'm pretty sure that's at the top of Pavlov's hierarchy of needs.
But I don't, to be honest, not much to say about any of these movies, but particularly this one.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say, really.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Well, fantastic, guys. You know what? After talking about it a bit more, I'll drop it down. I'm giving it a C- instead.
Wow.
I'm gonna stick with my C+, which in my new system means it's a solid movie.
Was this a solid movie?
Yeah, it's a solid movie.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm sticking at my C. I think it's fine for a kid's movie. I think there's some entertainment value here, but it's a little stupid, but that's kind of what I expect for something like this.
It's a Disney movie at the end of the day. Anyway, I'm not going to change my...
And it lands at a C+. How exciting.